Hello everybody, my name is Shelly. If you are new here, I'm a lady of a certain age. I'm not a makeup artist, makeup enthusiast, I guess. And this is one of those channels where we just kind of chill, we just hang out. It's just makeup, it washes off. We sometimes make mistakes. We sometimes are pleasantly surprised by things. Sometimes I try facefuls of like a certain brand. Some of those brands are inconsistent in their quality. Some of them are like, oh yeah, these products are great and these aren't. So we like to kind of explore those. Last month, E.L.F. released their new Camo CC cream. So that gave me an opportunity to buy a few more E.L.F. products. Today we're doing a face full of E.L.F. cosmetics. Some of them are new. Some of them are not new, but they're products that I really like. So I figured we'd just kind of play with some new stuff. I'll tell you which is new as I get into it and which ones are favorites. First favorite, E.L.F. Poreless Putty Primer. This is one of my favorites of all times. I know that people call it dupe for like the Tatcha Silk. There's also Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. This is another one. Very similar in consistencies, but for the price point and for how well it works, I'll stick with the E.L.F. Now I have tried their other putty primers like the luminous one. Don't really care for it because frankly I really want to put these types of putty primers, I want to put them in the center of my face where I've got the bit worse texture. The luminous one I want to keep out here and I don't really feel like I need a ton of primer on the outside of my face. That being said, the matte primer is okay. It's not as much of my favorite as the Poreless Putty Primer though. I've got an E.L.F. eyelid primer. This is just it's a clear, I mean it looks skin toned in here, but it is just a clear eyelid primer. I think it's very, very, very similar to the Becca one. I think it's a dupe for the Becca eye brightening type primer, except for its sheer. It feels very emollient. The E.L.F. HD Lifting Concealer. This is by far my favorite concealer of 2020. I suspect it'll be also my favorite concealer of 2021. And what I like about it is it seems to give me just the right amount of coverage without being too drying. And I do like the shade. Now this is shade light and it's not as light as one would think. I've actually bought a backup of it because I like it so much. I'm gonna go ahead and just sort of bounce that concealer in a little bit. And I am putting this concealer on first because I don't know how the CC cream is gonna sit over the top of it. CC creams tend to, for me at least, my experience with CC creams is they tend to be a little more opaque than say BB creams. I don't mind either one of them. We're gonna see how this goes. I really do like that HD lifting concealer. I like it better than say their Camo concealer and their hydrating Camo concealer. I don't like those as much. I know I'm probably in a minority here because I think a lot of people really do like them, but not my favorite. So we're gonna try this. Hopefully I did okay on the color match. This is in shade light 280N. Okay, on the back of my hand it looks okay. I'm gonna put 2 pumps in the back of my hand because I don't know how much I'm gonna need on my face. Maybe slightly yellow, but yeah, that's a lot yellow. And we'll try to sheer it out a little bit. Leave me a comment down below. Have you tried this? How do you feel about CC creams? I feel like they were really popular a while back, but then just kind of fell out of favor. In the viewfinder, it actually looks more neutral than what I'm seeing in the mirror. I don't know, maybe it'll look all right when I get out in real natural light. It's pretty later in the day, I might be out of natural light. Actually, you know what? It looks pretty good. Maybe just a tiny bit of luminosity. I'll be curious to see how it behaves like around my nose and stuff. And I have a lot on the back of my hand. I didn't need 2 pumps. I could have gotten away with 1. I am gonna set this down a little bit. I've got a E.L.F. Halo Glow setting powder. I'm just gonna go ahead and set this down because I've got that concealer on my face. Oh, shoot. So I used a beauty blender to apply that. I forgot I bought their brush. We'll have to try it another time. I'm sure I'll do another face full of E.L.F. makeup. I think I have already. I'll go ahead and link it right about here if, if I can find it. This is one of my favorite cream contours and it's the E.L.F. Cream Contour Palette. Go figure. I like it when names are easy to identify. I think I'm gonna use this kind of cool toned second to the lightest color. This is a palette that I think works really well if you're gonna do like reverse foundation too. I think you can go in with a little darker and then do your foundation over the top of it. If you want me to explain what I'm talking about, let me know. I can do a video on that too. This just goes on so well. and I like that you can control it. It's great for dry skin. I think that just looks so nice. I have no issues with that at all. I am going to use an E.L.F. blush though. This is one of their primer infused shimmer blushes, and this is in the shade Always Silly. Came out a few months ago. Since I was doing some other new products as well, I figured why not pull out a blush that I don't really use that much, but I actually do like. I think this is one of those formulas that actually looks really good on your skin. And even though it's, I think it says, does it say it's shimmering? Yeah, it says shimmer blush. I don't get a ton of like shimmery golden glittery stuff. Because of that, I do try to keep it back a little bit, and it's super pigmented. I already put on too much on this side. Not a makeup artist. We're just gonna go over the top of it and see if we can't shear it out a little bit. So as I was saying before I decided to abuse blush, I do try to keep anything super shimmery out of the worst of my texture. Okay, you guys, so far so good. I do have a Jelly Pop shimmer highlighter, and I'm trying to see if I don't see my Jelly Pop highlighter brush sitting here, so we're just going to use a different brush. The consistency of this is just so weird. I do like the Jelly Pop blushes. Those are kind of fun too. Oh yeah, I look like I have cheekbones again. I don't really. That to me is a nice shimmer. Let's play with some eyeshadow. I did pick up this. This is the hot chocolate. $10 on the sticker, but I think this was maybe even on sale. I have enjoyed E.L.F. eyeshadows before. I didn't buy the retro one last summer because I just couldn't get behind it. Now, this is interesting because I feel like these pan sizes are slightly smaller than what I'm expecting. Okay, if I put this next to the Earth and Ocean palette, it feels like the pan sizes are slightly, oh yeah. The pan sizes look like they're almost a third smaller than the other palettes that I've had from E.L.F. So I think this is a palette that you can do 3 looks with one palette. If you guys want me to come back and do that, let me know. But for the sake of time and because we're trying a bunch of different products, we're just gonna do one look. I see a lot of oranges jumping out at me. Of course, you know, if you remove that one green right there, it's a largely neutral palette. You've got several different shades of orange, a yellow, kind of a hot pink, and the rest are neutrals. We're gonna go in with this lightest shade, or this kind of mid-tone transition shade in here. It's just a neutral nude color, about what I would expect kick-up wise from a budget-friendly eyeshadow. It's applying well over the top of that eyelid primer that I started with. I could see using this palette for work. There's a lot of options in here. 15 shades in this palette. It's super economical. I love the E.L.F. bite size palettes as well. I'm going to go into this warmer brown here. It's almost like a sienna color. That blended in really nicely to that first initial shade. I'm going to actually stay with that same color, and I'm going to drag a little bit down below my eye as well. I want to go into this darker shade here. I'm going to take it with the same brush and start with outside of my eye, keeping it to the outside, and then slightly blending it a little bit so it's not super harsh and kind of clumped together. If I look at myself, I can really see that this looks like my eyelid is going like this, so I've got to bring this up here a little bit. Okay, we're going into this kind of berry colored shimmer down here, just pressing it onto the latter half of that movable lid over the top of our transition shade, our crease shade, and a little bit over that outer corner as well. This is a palette that I can see getting a number of uses out of. I can see using some of these shades for work. I can see using some of these shades to kind of jazz it up a little bit for after work. I feel like you've got a good selection of warmer tones. I feel like with the couple pops of color they give you, that it could really transition to date night. So this might be one of those good ones where if you're at work, you can keep it in your desk drawer, you can keep it in your car, you could even take it on a trip and give you lots of different things to play with. There's so many good options, I'm having a hard time choosing. I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's almost like I'm gonna call it like a taupe undertone, a little dry and pretty glittery. I don't know that I love that, but I might as well match it up here. I don't know that I love this shade. I thought it would be a little less glittery. It's almost glittery and dry. Probably a good topper, like a halo type eye look. But I don't know that I love it right there. So I'm gonna grab the, this looks so, this one here is a color shifting one. I see gold in the mirror and in the viewfinder, but when I look at it, I've got a little of a pink shift too. So we're gonna try that just kind of over the top of this here. All right, I like that. I do have these two new liquid metallic eyeshadows. One of them is in Meteor, which seems like it's more of a gold color, and one of them is Comet, which seems like it's slightly more like a rose gold shade. I don't know that I need to be putting any more shimmers on my eyes, but since we have it here, and since we're playing with new products, let's see how this is. Feel like maybe it moved some of that eyeshadow a little bit. I don't know that that brought anything of interest to my eyeshadow, so we're just gonna, oh my word. Before I drag this foundation CC cream into more of my hair, I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe it off. I think it would be better with, so this is a No Budge shadow stick. I think it would be better with this. Like if you were just to do something super easy and you doctor up the outside with one of these shadow sticks. See, that's almost a little bronzy, isn't it? And then maybe highlight a little bit of highlight with that shimmer. You know what? I'm gonna use this along my bottom lash line here. Okay, that brings it kind of a shimmery, smoky look to it. Not horrible harsh, but I feel like it's a little bit thick. This might be good like all over the lid just as a single shade. I'll try that. I'll try that when I try the concealer foundation brush, CC cream brush that I didn't try. Okay, we're gonna try this E.L.F. Active Workout Ready Waterproof Eyeliner. I'm guessing this is just a black. I think it was something that was like a free option with purchase. Sometimes E.L.F. does that. Join their E.L.F. Beauty Squad because it's a good deal. You get to choose free things, and sometimes it's not like the best choices in the world, but sometimes you can be surprised. I'm not normally a black eyeliner kind of wearer. Not normally, just because I like it to be a little softer. You know what? It applied very well. I feel like this might be a good like waterline kind of eyeliner, or if you have leaky eyelids, if your eyes leak or allergies or whatever, I feel like this might be pretty good. Kind of like a long-wearing, sweat-proof kind of eyeliner. I'm going by their description, not because I've actually tried it in those environments, but I do have a E.L.F. mascara. I've never, ever tried any E.L.F. mascaras to my knowledge. I say that and I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever bought an E.L.F. mascara. This one is called the Lash It Out Loud. I didn't curl my lashes. I think this is just that black mascara. The spoolie's nice, actually. It's seems like a more rigid plastic type wand. It's almost a little painful when you get down to the base of your eyelashes. I wasn't really expecting that. First couple go around, I'm gonna say I'm not in love with it on my upper lashes. Seems to work okay on the bottom lashes. I think maybe on the bottom lashes it works well because you're going back and forth, not necessarily dragging it from root to tip. We're gonna build this up a little bit and see how this does. All right, you guys, mascara's on. And that spoolie's painful. I don't really care for that. I felt like I was jabbing into the roots of my lashes, and I don't know that I'll use that. Not a new product, but I do have an E.L.F. lip. This is in shade Praline. It's kind of a go-to shade for me, frankly, especially if I'm in a hurry and I want something that's like a combination of lipstick and lip liner together. I feel like I want to try this other eyeshadow, but as a lip gloss, lip topper. Do I want to do this one? This one's really gold. I'm not going to do the gold one. I'm going to do this one that I said was kind of a rose gold. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Okay, you guys, I did not bring in an E.L.F. setting spray. I do have one, but I don't really care for it. Last time I remember, I think it was like really aggressive, and that's not good. I do like these primer infused blushes. I think I like them better than the ones that came in the bite size. I don't know what the difference is. I'm not really sure what's different about this formula. It could be all mental, but but I do like the way this makeup looks. I mean, I think at the end of the day, that palette really is fun and flexible. All right, we're gonna just try tapping out some more of this concealer into here. Several new e.L.F. products. Not all of them are new. Some of them are products that I actually really like. I do feel like I've got a lot going on right now, right? I feel like I've got probably a lot more makeup than I need to have for a day where I'm working from home. It's kind of fun to put on makeup and then pretend we're going somewhere. So I'm not. Despite that CC cream being rather yellow upon first application, I think it looks okay now. I hope you guys are doing really well. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I would absolutely love to bring you in part of the community of ladies of a certain age who just want to play, just want to find out, can products work for us in real life? At the end of the day, we just don't want to embarrass our families or ourselves. So that's kind of what we're doing here on this channel, playing with makeup, playing with different formulas, giving you my honest opinion. Out of all this stuff, I'm going to say the metallic-y, kind of liquidized, they're okay. They're not my favorite. They're not my favorite formula. And I thought the Active, this Workout Ready Eye Pencil, I'm going to call it a gel. I don't know that it specifically is, but this actually I thought went really well. Out of the other new products, not so much the mascara, not purchasing that full. Did like the palette though. I can see getting use out of this. I honestly feel like you have enough everyday work, everyday daylight hour, you know, normal kind of shades in here, but you also have a couple fun pops of color. Do I think this is revolutionary? Nope. But is it inexpensive? Is it usable? I'm gonna say yes. It gives me everything that I want in an eyeshadow palette. Face full of e.L.F. makeup. Hope you guys are doing really well, and until my next video, bye for now.